Python is an excellent language for beginners to learn programming. This narrative will cover the basics of variables, loops, and functions using Python, accompanied by brief explanations that can serve as script ideas for short instructional videos. Let's start with variables. In Python, a variable is used to store data that can be accessed and manipulated later in the program. To create a variable, you simply need to assign a value to a name. For instance, x equals 5 assigns the integer value 5 to the variable named x. Variables can hold different data types such as integers, floats, strings, and more. Moving on to loops. Python primarily uses for loops and while loops to repeat a block of code multiple times. A for loop iterates over a sequence, such as a list or a string. For example, for I in range 5, we'll execute the block of code inside the loop 5 times, with I taking on values from 0 to 4, while loops continue to execute as long as the given condition is true. For instance, while x less than 10, we'll continue to execute the associated block of code until x is no longer less than 10. Lastly, let's discuss functions. Functions are a way to organize code into reusable blocks. You define a function using the def keyword followed by the function name and parentheses, which may include parameters. For example, def greet name defines a new function named greet that takes a parameter name. Inside the function, you can write code that performs a specific task. You can then call this function with different arguments, like greet Alice, to execute the block of code with name set to Alice. This makes code more modular and readable. By combining variables, loops, and functions, you can write powerful and efficient Python programs. Each of these concepts forms the backbone of programming in Python and provides a solid foundation for further learning and exploration. Use these explanations as starting points for creating engaging short videos to introduce new programmers to these essential concepts.